They say beauty is subjective, but science and history reveal a different truth. In the annals of royalty, certain women possessed such extraordinary beauty that experts studied them, some achieving near-perfect symmetry, others an inexplicable aura so powerful it altered the fate of empires. From an empress obsessed with her own image to a princess whose beauty comes close to clinical perfection, we're about to unveil the definitive ranking of the 10 most beautiful princesses in history. Is it genetics, or something more mysterious? Stay until the end, because number 1 holds a score almost impossible to achieve, and you won't believe the surprising secret behind her timeless allure. Number 10. Princess Madeleine of Sweden. We begin our countdown in Northern Europe. For many, Madeleine of Sweden is the absolute definition of Scandinavian elegance. Her beauty doesn't demand excess, it resides in the subtle. Radiant skin, crystal clear eyes, and a facial symmetry that exudes an almost magnetic calm. For years, she made headlines for her romantic style and her dazzling tiaras. Yet, what truly fascinates today is her remarkable ability to reinvent herself away from the throne. Madeleine has taken an unexpected path, the path of organic luxury. In an unprecedented collaboration with the Swiss brand Weleda, she launched her natural cosmetics line, Make Me London. She is not just a princess, she is a businesswoman who believes in minimalism and conscious self-care. She has traded the palaces of Stockholm for a more private life in Miami, proving that true beauty evolves with freedom. Did you expect this entrepreneurial spirit from a daughter of kings? Share your thoughts below, because number 9 conceals a genetic legacy that feels straight out of a Hollywood movie. Number 9. Charlotte Casiraghi, daughter of Caroline of Monaco and granddaughter of Grace Kelly. Charlotte was born into 2 extraordinary legacies, Hollywood glamour and European intellect. Although often referred to as a princess, she doesn't officially hold a royal title, nor does she need one. Her presence commands more attention than any crown. She has a remarkably refined bone structure, high cheekbones, architectural eyebrows, and a gaze that seems to analyze your very soul. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't try to please, but effortlessly captivates. It's no surprise that fashion houses like Chanel have made her their ultimate muse. But what truly sets her apart is her mind. Charlotte is a philosopher, a writer, and a professional equestrian. She represents French chic in its purest form. Her effortless elegance, subtly undone hair, and natural lips make her resemble a living work of art. What do you think of Charlotte's style? Do you think she inherited more from her mother or from the legendary Grace Kelly? Tell me below, because the next royal on our list possesses a beauty as magnetic as it is deeply tragic. Number 8. Soraya Esfandiary. Some faces appear painted by the gods, only to be tragically broken by destiny. Soraya reigned as Queen of Iran in the 1950s, and though her tenure was brief, her image became indelibly etched in collective memory. Of Persian and German descent, she possessed hypnotic, silver eyes that the European press frequently compared to Elizabeth Taylor's. Her face was a study in mathematical perfection, high cheekbones, sculpted lips, and porcelain skin that Christian Dior couture adorned like a living jewel. But behind the diamonds and the flashing cameras, there was a devastating tragedy. Despite being the great love of the Shah of Iran, she was cruelly cast aside and forced into divorce for a single, devastating reason: she could not provide an heir to the throne. Soraya was expelled from the palace, yet never from the history of style. She spent the remainder of her life in Europe as a princess without a kingdom, finding refuge in cinema and high society, but always carrying the quiet melancholy that earned her the poignant title, the Queen of Sad Eyes. Do you believe true beauty lives in what the soul expresses, even through pain? Share your thoughts in the comments. Prepare yourself, because number 7 introduces a woman who inherited the very throne of European glamour. Number 7. Caroline of Monaco. If any woman truly embodies European aristocracy, it is Caroline of Monaco. Since the 1970s, her face has symbolized a glamour that never tries too hard. With her high cheekbones and expressive gaze, inherited from her mother Grace Kelly, Caroline transformed royal poise into something far more magnetic, an elegance imbued with character. She became Karl Lagerfeld's ultimate muse and the undeniable star gracing the covers of Vogue and Paris Match. Caroline is one of the few royals who, despite never ruling a sovereign throne, has been universally treated like a queen. After the tragic loss of her second husband, Stefano Casiraghi, Caroline embraced a life of discretion, culture, and art, proving that true beauty matures with dignity. Today, as Princess of Hanover, she remains the gold standard of royalty, a woman once the most photographed in the world, yet who kept her secrets hidden behind absolute silence for decades. Did you know Caroline almost never gave interviews despite being the most pursued face by paparazzi? Tell me below, because number 6 introduces a beauty who has captivated the internet with her modern presence. Number 6. Queen Rania of Jordan. Queen Rania of Jordan is far more than a queen consort, she is the architect of her own powerful personal brand. With a deep gaze and sculpted features that project absolute confidence, Rania has masterfully balanced classic elegance with a modern presence unrivaled in the Arab world. This is no coincidence. Before wearing the crown, she built her career in marketing for global giants like Apple. This strategic mindset transformed her into the first digital queen. She understands that every appearance is a message, and her image, in fact, serves as a powerful communication tool. Through her social media, where she commands millions of followers, Rania has broken protocol to reveal a more human side, speaking openly about values, family, and empowerment. And while her extremely slender figure has occasionally sparked aesthetic debates, her sophistication has never been questioned. She is a beauty with purpose, who has gracefully ushered monarchy into the 21st century. Do you think Rania is the most intelligent queen when it comes to managing her image? Tell me below, because number 5 transports us back in time to meet a woman who lived enslaved by her own porcelain beauty. And tell me, is your favorite winning so far? Number 5. Empress Elizabeth of Bavaria, Sisi. Halfway through our journey, we encounter a woman who was not merely beautiful, but lived enslaved by her own image. Sisi was not just the Empress of Austria, she was arguably the first great victim of global fame. With a waist of barely 47 centimeters and hair that reached down to her ankles, her beauty became a spectacle the entire world clamored to consume. But behind the oil portraits lay a dark obsession. Sisi dedicated 3 hours a day solely to brushing her hair. She slept with raw meat masks to prevent wrinkles and followed diets so extreme they would be considered terrifying by today's standards. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect was her final rebellion against time. At the age of 32, at the peak of her beauty, she forbade any new portraits from ever being made. She wanted the world to remember her as young forever, hiding behind fans and veils until the day of her death. Sisi was not just an empress, she was a myth who chose to disappear rather than age before the eyes of her people. Do you think Sisi was the first influencer in royal history, or a prisoner of her own vanity? Tell me below, because number 4 is the great discovery of this video, a woman with such perfect symmetry that she appears designed by an artist. Number 4. Fawzia Fuad, Queen of Iran. They say she looked like a Hollywood star, but the truth is, she was born to be a queen. For many experts, Fawzia Fuad embodies the definition of mathematical beauty. Born an Egyptian princess, she later became Queen of Iran. Her face was so striking that it dominated European magazine covers in the 1940s, without her uttering a single word. She possessed large, sapphire-colored eyes, sculpted eyebrows, and porcelain skin that seemed crafted by a Renaissance artist. In fact, modern plastic surgeons consider her facial structure among the most harmonious ever documented. She was the perfect blend of Eastern strength and Western elegance. She was constantly compared to legends like Vivian Leigh or Hedy Lamarr. But unlike them, Fawzia carried the weight of a crown that brought her no happiness. After a melancholic marriage to the Shah of Iran, she returned to her native Egypt to live in absolute discretion. Even today, her youthful portraits remain the gold standard of royal beauty. Did you know her face? Are you surprised an Egyptian princess ranks this high on our list? Tell me below, because now we enter the royal podium. At number 3 awaits the woman who today embodies British perfection, and whose symmetry has been analyzed under a microscope. Number 3. Diana of Wales. We reach the podium with a woman who was not merely beautiful, she was a revolution. Diana Spencer possessed a unique beauty, charismatic, and above all, deeply human. Unlike other faces on this list, Diana's charm didn't rely on mathematical perfection, but on the raw emotion she conveyed with every gesture. Interestingly, technically, Diana defied classical beauty standards. Her chin was slightly short and her nose more prominent, yet these very features made her feel real, approachable, distinctively Diana. At just 20 years old, she became the most photographed woman in the world. She didn't need grand artifices. With an iconic hairstyle, a shy smile, and those unforgettable blue eyes, she seemed to stop time. Her life was a constant dance between luxury and loneliness, love and betrayal. But beyond the gala dresses, her true beauty lay in her profound vulnerability. Even today, her gaze continues to touch the hearts of those who knew her, and new generations who discover her for the first time. Do you think Diana's beauty was in her features or in her story? Tell me in the comments, because now we enter the top 2. Prepare to meet the woman who today embodies British perfection, whose symmetry approaches the absolute ideal. If she is your absolute favorite, leave me a heart in the comments right now. I want to see how many Lady Di fans are in the Gilded Dynasty community. Number 2. Kate Middleton. If Diana represented emotion, Kate embodies institutional perfection. Classic, refined, and meticulously studied, the beauty of the current Princess of Wales sets the new standard for the British crown. She didn't just win over the future king, she achieved something almost impossible, convincing the entire world with an elegance that makes no mistakes. Her face is one of the most balanced in contemporary royalty, with a forehead and chin perfectly aligned and a defined jawline that projects confidence. Kate achieves 86.8% of the ideal golden ratio. It is a beauty of structure, serenity, and above all, iron discipline. In every appearance, from her flawless makeup to her polished hairstyles, Kate utilizes her image to convey authority without sacrificing softness. Over the years, her face has gained character, proving that her beauty is not static, but evolves with her role as a future queen. It is the beauty of consistency. Do you prefer this kind of absolute perfection or the natural charm of the previous positions? Tell me below, because we have reached the pinnacle of our journey. Number 1. Grace Kelly, Princess of Monaco. Finally, we reached the summit. Grace Kelly was not just a princess, she was the woman who disarmed royalty with the sheer perfection of her face. Before becoming Her Serene Highness, she was already the Queen of Hollywood and an Academy Award winner. But when she crossed the ocean to marry Prince Rainier of Monaco, her beauty ascended to an eternal myth. Her face has been analyzed endlessly by science. An ideal forehead, a precisely sculpted nose, and an almost perfect symmetry, reaching 9.8 out of 10 in facial harmony. Grace Kelly is, quite literally, the clinical standard of human perfection. But her power didn't lie only in her features, it resided in a presence so measured and majestic that she transformed a small principality into the global epicenter of elegance. She never acted again, but she didn't need to. Every photograph of her, every gesture captured by the lens, feels like a timeless luxury campaign. Although she left us far too soon, her image remains intact, protected from the passage of time. Grace Kelly is a reminder that some beauties don't just define an era, they define what it means to be truly unforgettable. Did you imagine that Grace would take the throne of this ranking? Do you think any woman could ever surpass her perfection? Tell me below, because this debate has just begun.